don't really necessarily think that there's a mentality. I think it's just more, us focusing on what we need to do every year, and trying to make every team that we've had the best team that we can make that team or whatever. So I think that the success has just come by kind of repeating that formula, and the girls have done a good job of getting it accomplished. So, well, I think a little. I mean, I think people have expectations that you're going to win. I think that parents, your fans, and things like that. I think that the general student body that just kind of come accustomed to that. For me, I think that I always feel that way too as well. I mean that we expect to do well and things like that. So I think that there's a little bit of pressure with it. But I mean, at the same time, it's still just it's just a volleyball game, so it's not life or death or anything like that. But definitely do feel a little bit of pressure. Yeah, I think that we've had quality players that have really bought into, I think, the system that we've always had and incorporated, and really do a good job of always trying to continually get better. They just never really settle for what they're doing. They're always trying to get to another level of wherever level they're at. They're always trying to get to another level, I guess. So we're going to play as hard as we can and try to get us ready for our conference, because I mean, it's just if you go into it and you play teams that aren't that aren't necessarily the toughest teams, and then try to go play in our conference, it just doesn't really work. I mean, it's a really difficult. You may get some wins in the season in those non-conference games, but you're going to be shocked once you get to kind of the level, I think, of our conference. Teams are they're just so used to playing each other. They're so used to the battle that kind of is our conference. Teams just do a really good job of they've kind of had they've had that competition in our conference, and they know how to fight for all the points and things like that. And it's something that that it's just it's a great benefit for us down the end of the road too as well. If we play these tough teams, it's it gets us ready to if we can get to the next get to the Elite Eight or anything like that, then we're kind of battle tested. So we've had situations like that. I think that one of the nice things about the situation that we're in right now is that we've had kids that are kind of been waiting in the wings, and so it's not for sure going to be freshmen that have to step in and fill that role. So it's been a couple kids that our setter that's actually been with us, Casey Williams, that's been with us for a couple of years now and been through the system. And it kind of started in the spring. We got to test ourselves against some quality teams in the spring and see what they're capable of. Kids like Casey, and then Anna Schlack or whatever. I mean, she's been with us for a couple of years, and now it's kind of her time to see what she can do. They had great springs, but spring's way different than what it is in the regular season. So it'll be really interesting to see how they can transition to that side. But I mean, all in all, though, we feel good about what we have. I mean, it's better than having a freshman come into those situations and be like that. I think that another kid, Emma Lang, that was kind of waiting in the wings or whatever all last season, and she's somebody that she's got potential to be a very impactful player as well. So the freshmen have looked really surprisingly good. I mean, usually it's kind of an eye opener to catch up to the speed that we play at in practice, and just kind of the level of expectations I think that we have in our gym, and they've done a good job with it so far. I think that they're at a pretty high level. They need to keep working on consistency and things like that. I think getting accustomed to being able to play at a very aggressive pace. We really push. Don't wimp out. We really want you to push the envelope of how aggressive you can play, and getting yourself to be able to play consistently at that level. They're just not used to. That's something that they're not used to. They're not used to having to go for a swing on every single time. I think some of the things that score in high school compared to what score in college they're just very different. And for them, it's that's going to be the next jump that they make, and how fast they do it will be interesting though. But I like what I see so far though. They're very open to trying to learn. I think that they realize that they need to get better, and really have kind of shown some. We've only been a week into this, but they really have shown some ability to learn quickly, and that's a big thing.